Toot's Kitchen was founded by me, Tiffany, which Toot is actually my mom's nickname. She got the nickname when she was a little girl. One of her cousins didn't know how to say her other nickname, which was sister, and so what he would say was Tooter instead. So her family started calling her Toot, and it just followed her throughout her life. And the restaurant slash food truck slash catering came about because one day I just felt a desire to leave a legacy of my mom. And you know, my mom passed away in 2006 along with my father, so I wanted to have a legacy for my family, and no other way but to do it through the memory of my mom and her love for cooking for the family. And she would never really let me cook when I was younger, but she would let me at least watch. And I watched her, I watched my grandmother, and there's something about when I want to know how to do something, I'm going to learn one way or another. So I wanted to have something that I can leave my family after I'm not here. You know, something that's meaningful, something that can go on for years and years and decades, which will be a restaurant. So I started now in 2018 as doing catering and doing my specialty sweet treats. And Sweet Treats is actually an entity of Toot's Kitchen, which my mom didn't really like to bake, but I do, and I like to do both actually. So that's why we call it Tiff's Sweet Treats, if you heard about it. If not, then you'll hear about it soon. We do cakes, we do pies, we do cheesecakes, desserts, everything you can think of, cupcakes, cookies, anything your sweet tooth desires, we have it. So that's that. Well, it began with me starting, one of my friends actually allowed me to come to her job and set up, and I had my godson and my niece, and we did breakfast. I have a desire to have breakfast sold. One of my other grandmothers, she loved breakfast, so we are gonna have breakfast eventually one day. And right now, the way I had it, I set it up in her office, and we did waffles and pancakes and French toast sandwiches and waffle sandwiches. It was amazing, and everybody showed so much love, and it was a great experience. You know, I also, like I said, I want to leave this to my family, so having my godson and my niece there with me was amazing, and it was a great experience, a lot of fun. And also, the second time I had an opportunity to do the same thing, but I based it off of chicken and waffles and fish and grits at my godson's football game, and we did a concession stand set up, and we were able to sell, you know, food, and sold out in 30 minutes. So God is good, and I give him all the praise for that. So that's how it started, and then God pushed me to put the business out there, starting with desserts around the holidays. So things have been going great. The feedback and the response of the people has been amazing, and I just know that it's just going to continue to get better as I continue to follow the steps that God allowed me to do. I started cooking when I was probably about 9, you know, doing the typical scrambled eggs, probably even 8, scrambled eggs, things like that. And then I started really cooking when I got into high school, and then when I got into college was a whole totally different thing. You know, now I have friends that like to eat that don't really know how to cook, so that was like a joy for me to pull out the pots and pans and cook a platter. You know, it wasn't nothing for me to throw some pork chops on the stove, you know, green beans, macaroni and cheese, have all my friends over that love to eat. And it kind of started then, you know, the love for doing it for other people. I've always worked in the restaurant business, and funny enough, I believe that's God training me to be where I am now, to know the back history of how to operate in a restaurant, every single angle of it, because I've done everything in a restaurant. So I started about 9 years old, been cooking ever since, if you can't tell. My end goal with the restaurant, with Toot's Kitchen, is to have a restaurant here in Tampa. I want to really be able to help the community as much as possible. So I want a lot of the funds that we make from cooking for people and selling food go to the homeless community, to the children of the community, less fortunate. That's just where my heart is. And also being able to give people jobs that never had jobs, or people that need jobs that can't find jobs because of their backgrounds or because of their situation at the time. I want to be able to reach everyone. I don't want people to feel like they can't feel like a person because they can't get just an honest job. So I want to be able to hire people like that and help people like that. And also I want to, I want to have a food truck, and this is also catering as well. So I want to be able to cater to teachers. Right now I work in a school, so I see the need for giving back to the teachers and showing them how much you care about them by just simply feeding them. I've been at the school board for 3 years, and I've noticed that, and I love doing it every single time I do it. So teachers and children and the less fortunate will probably be my focus, when giving back. But I want to have a restaurant. I want to be able to have a restaurant in every city that I've ever lived in, every city my mom ever lived in, and then start expanding more out as God blesses. But I pray that you order and sow into the business. This is something I started because God told me to and showed me to. So this is just an act of faith, and I just pray that whenever you do get a part of Toot's Kitchen, if you're caught in the kitchen. Oh, and a matter of fact, the term "caught in the kitchen" is a hashtag me and my nephew came up with, and we came up with that because one thing about my mom, she would always say, "Get out of my kitchen," and I catch myself even saying that now. So when you're caught in the kitchen, you're caught in Toot's Kitchen. That means you got something good and you're taking something home great. So if you see the hashtag "caught in the kitchen," that's what we're talking about. When I post, that's what I usually put. So you'll be able to find us on Instagram and Facebook, Toot's Kitchen, caught in the kitchen, hashtag, tips, sweet treats, hashtag. So just look us up, and we thank you for the support. Appreciate it.